All right, it is still Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Time check right now is 8:46 a.m. It's time for Mainland Focus. And this is the part where we select one or two major stories of the trending stories on the papers. And we open the phone line for you to share your thoughts and your own analysis of these two major stories. For today, we are taking our stories off the front pages of the Guardian and Vanguard newspaper, and that is as regards, the first is as regards federal government's reforms not working, statement from BAUCHI state governor, and also the NNPP accusing APC of meddling in the internal issues of opposition parties in order to retain power in 2027. Those are the focal points that we're going to be looking through this morning. My name still remains, always will be, still is Omobola Sandra. And I still have Fuad Sahid with me via the phone line to share his thoughts and his submission also as regards the two focal points that we're looking at this morning. All right, I'll start with the first focal point, which is of course the major headline on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, and that is federal government reforms not working. Bauchi state governor counters World Bank, and we have riders here that says people are hungry and they may lynch us. Reversing reforms will spell doom for Nigeria, World Bank warns. We must sustain reforms, says Edun. CBN doesn't determine forex rate, says Cardoso. My fear about reforms, World Bank VP and Chief Economist Gill says. So let's start with Governor Bala Muhammad and what he said. He said that he has expressed a contrary view of the ongoing reforms, asking the federal government to review them since they are not working. He has asked the federal government not to be dogmatic about the situation, and he disclosed that people are hungry and the people of his status face the threat of being lynched. He said, and I quote, "When the reforms started, the subnationals supported the president. The macroeconomic policies causing inflation should be looked into. There is hunger. People are suffering. We should not be dogmatic. Nigerians are not enjoying the reforms. The federal government should come up with economic policies. The money we are receiving is not enough. What are you doing to reduce hunger? We should help the people to cope. The purchasing power has dwindled. These policies are not working. Review them. Let us not go into blackmail. What of power? The tariffs are too high. The people are not able to pay. We're on the brink of being lynched. These policies are not working. Let us review them." And that is from Bauchi State Governor. Tackling the World Bank over claims that because the World Bank has claimed that a reversal of the current economic reforms would spell doom for the country. The World Bank is insisting that the reforms, are good for the country. Yes, it's difficult, but for long-term, purpose or for long-term benefits, it is important for these reforms to be, implemented. Warning that reversing the current reforms will spell doom for the country, as they are in total support and also totally committed to supporting the government's efforts towards a successful implementation of these reforms, both monetary and fiscal. Now, what do you think about Bala Muhammad's statement? What about the World Bank statements on poverty level in the country and the fact that we still have to stay on course with the current reforms? What about statement from Wale Edun and Yemi Cardoso? Now, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy said, that's Mr. Wale Edun, any efforts that you do not sustain will be a waste. The governor of the CBN, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, and I have looked at how to stay the course. Our decision was how can we reduce inflation and at the same time see that investments come into the real sectors, that's the industries, to see that they operate. So each day, with removal of subsidy, the government has money to spend on education, health, and other expenditures, and that is Mr. Wale Edun defending the policies of this government. And then you have the governor of the CBN, Yemi Cardoso, on one end saying that the launch of the document that the Apex Bank does not determine foreign exchange rates. He said the fundamentals are what determines foreign exchange rate, insisting that he will stick to the orthodox central banking. Because questions have come up as regards why we need to have an increase in the MPR when it is not solving the problem. Yes, textbook wise, theoretically speaking, orthodox speaking, that is the solution that should tackle inflation, increase the NPR. But the peculiarity of Nigeria's economic climate should also play a role. That's what the people are saying. But according to him, the positive results of this policy direction are already evident. He said, and I quote, "The CBN does not determine the exchange rate. It is determined by the fundamentals, and CBN will make sure we stick to that. As we strengthen our collaboration with the fiscal authorities, we will see that the exchange rate will be more stable." He said quite a lot, but then they said they're doing everything possible to get more exchange rate in our economy. So what is your take as regards that? Because the truth is, skyrocketing inflation, over 120 million Nigerians are trapped below poverty line. The second focal point is the headline here on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, where we have the NNPP, that's the New Nigeria People's Party, accusing the APC of orchestrating crisis in the country's opposition parties in order to retain power beyond 2027. And according to him, they said APC has concluded plans to disrupt merger talks. APC is interfering in the internal affairs of other parties to weaken their structures and to take control. What do you think about these accusations, and who is to blame for whatever it is for a weak opposition in the country at this time now? So those are the two focal points. I'll start with Fuad, your thoughts, and then we carry on.
All right, thank you so much, Sandra. Well, we'll start by looking at Bala Muhammad's statement. There's something very interesting about what he said. He said when the reform started, Sandra, remember, he said the subnational supported it.
Yes.
Do you remember why they all supported it then?
More money for them.
So what is he now saying about that more money?
The value has dropped.
Think about it. They thought that more money was going to come. So they were happy because there was now more money.
No, but more money did come. More money came now. But
what's the value of that more money?
Unfortunately.
You see. Even though it's not talking about the level of corruption at the level of the subnationals, actually. That's also another conversation. But what they had thought was going to be a blessing for them, the political class at the subnational level. Oh, more money was going to be available to share. I'm sure some of them will be thinking in their minds now that, look, the less than $1 trillion they used to share under Buhari, it's even better than the more than 1 trillion they share now, because of the value that has dropped. And now, because of the level of poverty in their individual state, there's now more pressure on the political class. If you understand, people are now knocking on their gates. The demands have gotten higher. It has almost tripled. Because of course the level of poverty also stares them in the face. They see the people who are now on their necks to save and rescue them out of the level of poverty they found themselves. So it's a problem really. And that's why he's saying that, look, we're on the verge of being lynched. It's Bala Muhammad that saying that, look, the way we see, you know there's a way you see the face of your people, and you know that, look, people are looking at us saying, one day, if there's nothing to eat, we'll eat you people. And that's what he's saying. The desperation. Look, when you look at the face of the average Nigerian that is faced by these things we are saying, you understand why Bala Muhammad is worried. And I'm sure it's not the only one in that shoe. The other governors understand what he's saying. They may pretend about it, but they know that, look, it's not all well. And then if you look at what the World Bank is saying, of course, Sarah, I don't know if you can bless us, before you open the phone line, with what the late M.K. Abiola said about the needed reforms in the oil sector, and the fact that you have to be careful with all of these IMF World Bank experts. If you remember, when he said that, look, are we not an independent nation under God? Why must he always listen to them? Why must he always tell us what we should do? The things they tell us to do, they don't do in their own country. But when they do it in a different way. But they tell us to do it differently. Oh, they tell us, look, the poverty level is increasing, but you must continue. Sandra, your reforms are getting problematic, but you have to stay on course. Whereas they are not telling the political class that, look, you cannot have a one-sided reform. It has to be holistic. The methodology has to be well thought out. They are not saying that. So it's of hypocrisy. And the intentions are clear for any discerning mind.
All right, fine.
And then for Mr. Cardoso and Mr. Wale, I wish them good luck if they think their policies are working. Whereas the feedback is saying otherwise. I don't know any policy implementation that is one way, linear, that does not get feedback or does not respond on feedbacks. I don't know where they are actually getting their own feedbacks from, actually, if you understand what I'm saying. But again, I know that when it comes to policy formation and implementation, it cannot be a linear communication strategy. It has to be a complete cycle. And what is the complete cycle? You must be ready to work on the feedback and review when necessary. But again, we wish them all the best, since they are the ones in charge. And then finally, on the opposition, Sandra, we said it. If there are no cracks on your wall, the lizard cannot come in. They need to look at themselves before they begin to look at the APC as a problem. They are their own problem. The APC is just helping them to further create a bigger problem from the problem they have created for themselves. God bless Nigeria, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Sir Edward. Appreciate your contribution. The phone line is now open. 0913 6000 410. 0913 6000 410. Unfortunately, we may not be able to listen to that clip, but not to worry. In the course of other programs, we'll definitely listen to it. But because today is Friday and we don't have the luxury of time. All right, so 0913 6000 410, that is the number to call. For WhatsApp messages, it's 0913 6000 430. 0913 6000 430. And we are live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. So you can join the program live and drop your comments and your contribution even as the show progresses. Would appreciate that. So at Mainland 98.3 FM, that's the handle to look out for both Facebook and YouTube. So let's get the conversation rolling. You have just 2 minutes, and please keep things clean and ensure that you have your facts before spewing things out. Very important. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Sarah, this is Miriam.
Good morning, Miriam. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right.
Yeah, I want to talk about the prepaid meter. Because our own, they just have to tell us that if we cannot afford to get a new one before on the 14th, that we should just we should vacate from the house. That's what our landlord is dragging with us now. Without not telling us before, he just came to tell us that if you cannot get the new prepaid meter, we should just leave. I think maybe because it's a government is among the senators, maybe that's the reason why he's pushing it hard on us. I don't really know because. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know, maybe because it's among the senators, because our landlord is a senator. So I don't know, maybe that's why he's pushing it hard on us. You just recently increased the house rent, and now you are saying you are mandating it for us that we should get the new prepaid meter.
All right.
We should get it.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I don't understand how there's a new meter in town and there's how it affects renting a space. I don't get that part. If everybody is affected by it, so I don't think that a landlord should compel people to get something that if they can't afford it. I really don't even get the correlation. And your landlord is a very interesting human being. All right, but thank you for putting that out there. It's very important for us to put that out there. Hopefully he will hear and probably hear the ridiculousness of such demand from you. But thank you. Please let's stay on focus. It's 0913 6000 410. Time check right now is 9 o'clock. Hello, good morning.
Bola.
Good morning.
We thank God for another day.
You're welcome.
This is Ambrose, Pastor Ambrose.
You're welcome.
Please, I have not called for a long time. What exactly? Just tell me the topic. Let me just quickly contribute within my 2 minutes.
Okay, so NNPP is accusing APC of meddling in opposition politics, saying that they are causing rancor or ruckus in opposition parties, in order for them to retain power in 2027. And then we also have here Bala Muhammad is calling on the federal government to reverse their policies, saying that the reforms are not working, which is countering what the World Bank is saying. Okay.
Let me start by saying, sometimes when people call you, all radio stations, they say, bear with them, things are okay. Do you know they forget that you as an OAP, you are going through excruciating pains. They forget that. They think your salary is enough. They think for salary is enough. They don't know that your salary cannot even take you for 1 week. Because the stations, people who own the station, they are also managing. So all of these things, they are there, and people will call you and be telling you it is well, Nigeria will be okay, and you can see what exactly that you are saying. The truth of the matter is that this light issue.
We are not talking about light.
What did you say just now?
Oh my goodness. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Professor. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please, good morning. My name is Malam Salau.
You're welcome.
Please, I want to ask you, this present Wale Edu, whatever, the Minister of Finance.
The Minister of Finance, that's Wale Edu.
Yeah, I like that he was extra. He worked with World Bank before. Am I right?
Some sort of experience, yes.
Okay, fine, good. You see, these Western countries, they know how to plan their evil economic policies into African countries. If you look at the way the speed, the arrogance this president removed us to be and floated the naira, he's acting on certain advice from someone who he believes to. You understand? Definitely, this man has a policy. He wants to just to appease the Western world. That is that. And for the NNPP and whatever, it's right. You know, I'm still repeating this thing that I said yesterday, some time ago. But that's why it's listening. You see, that is one of the reasons I'm saying that this problem of opposition parties will stay long. Will stay long because they are playing the kind of politics that this current president wants. Somebody like Tinubu, one of his, is somebody who has a lot of experience in politics. He always takes advantage of something to work on it. The opposition parties have opened way for him and he has penetrated into them. That is why I'm saying, yes, of course, politics is just like boxing. You take the advantage of the opponent, the weakness of your opponent or the lapses of your opponent and capitalize on that and knock him down. And that is it. The president, the MPP, and it's allowed in politics. You take advantage. Politics is allowed. Anything is allowed. Even to go against God is allowed in politics. In politics, so there is nothing that is prohibited in politics as far as politics is concerned. So people not only Nigeria, all over the world. It's only that some is different. All over the world, politics you can use anything because politics is after its interest, and they're working. They give him the way. And he walk into them. That is why they will never solve that problem. That is the truth about it.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Yes, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Madam Sandra.
I can hear you.
Yeah, this is Samuel calling from Ojudu.
All right. You're welcome.
Yes. Quickly, for the governor of Bauchi State, I think the governor, it is high time. It is now they realize that the policy is not working. That is why I always said, the governors and the president and even the vice president, all the government officials, anytime they want to speak to us, they will be telling us that they are feeling our pain. And I said they are not feeling our pain. Because almost half of them, they don't buy fuel. They don't know what people are passing through. You see, this politician, I said it and I will still repeat it again. If we as Nigeria are waiting for this crop of politicians to fix this country or to make this country work, we are deceiving ourselves. We'll be waiting for Godot. I'm telling you. You see what they are doing. Where is the president today as we are talking? The president left this country. It's over 2 weeks now, going to 2 weeks now. He's not in the country. The vice president also left the country. Yesterday, they put out a statement telling us that there is no vacuum in the presidency. So, and now the CBN is now the World Bank and the central bank governors are telling us a different thing now. You can see. Check the economic team of this president. all of them are his boys that he worked with. And they told us the slogan they were giving us in the previous government that the Buhari was not an economist. Now we have an economist president. What is happening to our economy? These are the questions that we need to ask. Now, you told us that you work in so many places and you have experience, and you now brought people that will work with you. So that means your house is intact. So you are ready for the job. So what is happening with our economy today? They should stop giving us excuse, and nobody should defend this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Sandra.
You're welcome.
Good morning to everybody in this Engineer Nee from Yaba.
Right.
Going by what Bala Muhammad said, he's right. And earlier we start debunking whatever they bring before us, the better for Nigeria. Because, you see, I know very well, these 15 years they are talking about, the economy does not, the reality is not the reality, the prevailing reality we are facing. When you say that there is no money, people should tighten their belt. I want to say categorically that they ask World Bank to come and make that pronouncement, and they also make their professional pronouncement that people are not faring well. They cannot continue to endure. Some people, some banks will call in the auditor to write whatever they like that will suit central bank in order to let them off the hook. But at the same time, the auditor know what to write in order not to implicate their professional career. So those are the things that are happening. It's in Nigeria that are calling the World Bank to come and make pronouncement to us, and it cannot endure, cannot lie. Because when you say that we should tighten our belt, you are spending money. Even the building, they want to build university in Lɪධᴇ now for Mr. President, where he come from. And you say there is no money. People should starve for 15 years. And even the wife went to Maiduguri yesterday to donate 250 million. There is no money. So he went to Maiduguri to donate 500 million. There is no money. They are building a house with 20 billion, or renovating house with 20 billion. You said there is no money. People should wait for 15 years. How come? This is not the right. They don't mean well at all. They don't mean well. This is a voodoo, also a charade system of governance, and it cannot stand the test of time. God bless Nigeria. We can't wait for 15 years, so they should retrace their success. God will intervene and take Nigeria to head the road and stop this.
It's okay. Past 9, and we have PC in the int is what we're looking at. Kabiru Adig to make the only reason of Nigerians, and that's Eberechukwu Theopris. I also have Basil Chika on Facebook. Bala Muhammad's statement about the Tinubu reform not working is clearly on ground for everyone to see, because the reform has only negative and bad effects on the common Nigerians, while the politicians keep on enriching themselves with whatever gains they make from it. The fuel subsidy removal is the case study for everyone to see, where the president said he's making trillions of naira monthly, but nothing to show for it. Chika Bende from Trade Fair, Basil Chika on Facebook. I also have here James Nkwachi Ogbona is saying, I greet you graciously. So nice to hear another female voice apart from Madam Ifi, and I encourage more women to contribute. One thing about birth pangs or pregnancy which this government and our president have not realized is that not all birth pangs or pregnancy lead to successful delivery. Some babies die in the process. Some mothers may not make it, or both may not even make it. Sometimes both make it alive during delivery, but there's no guarantee. In which of the categories are they putting us, and what is the evidence to convince us? Some pregnancies can be aborted or evacuated if it becomes life-threatening. They took us into the tunnel but didn't follow us inside. Rather, they went to the end of the tunnel to wait for us, telling us that there's light at the end of the tunnel. This tunnel is the longest I have seen. In some countries, there are lights inside their own tunnels. The World Bank report of 129 million Nigerians being in poverty is more than that. We are more than that. I have chosen not to be among the World Bank figure. I depend on God. And that's James Ogbonna from Oshodi on Facebook sharing that one. I also have Ʞᴏᴜ where Michael is saying, hello Mainland FM. It's unfortunate that situation has gotten worse to this level before the government realizes that all the citizens have been saying about the anti-people policies are not working has come to pass. It's glaring that the president has been listening to which has not made him to see the true picture of the country's economy, where more people are pushed into poverty. On the allegation that the ruling party is the cause of the internal crisis going on in the opposition parties is laughable, when in the real sense they are the cause of their problems. I will advise that they put things right before 2027. If not, the country is heading towards a one-party system, which is very dangerous for our democracy. Finally, I thank God that my life is moving in a positive direction as I will be marking my birthday tomorrow, 19th October. God bless Nigeria. Temitakwa Anatoe from Ijagama community. Happy birthday in advance. Let's go back to the phone line. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Bala Sandra.
Good morning.
Thank you, my dear. My name is Prince Y.S. Calling you from abroad.
You're welcome.
I think you walk back. They are saying to Nigeria, just stop it. Let Nigeria be. We are not seeing to second slavery now. I think we have educated people that handle our situation. Let us love ourselves by giving us longer advice. If I say 10 years, 15 years before you get it right, I don't think so. Because you have a lot of things that can make Nigeria more better than it is now. Even though the one what is the state government saying, I don't believe in play politics. Because you are one of the governors that are sharing a lot of a very fast education now. The money getting to every state governor is transferring. What did you do with the money getting to him? We know the reform we are talking about, the affect reform party. A lot of Nigeria is being affected. But you can't tell me that you affect the governors. The money given to you, how do you spend it? If you don't know what to do with your money, go back to the land, buy a lot of vehicles for NSC in your state. Let there are free buses in the federal state and take the money to the land and repeat every day that we have to go back to the land. Mechanizing farming is the key. Let me tell you this. Some people are not ready to do it. But when you sponsor farming, you give them fertilizer, you give them tractor, you then use it free. I'm telling you, that's the food. The rest we are talking today, Bala Sandra, is come from Thailand and other countries.
Right.
This that drop from heaven. It is more with a presence. We can do it in Nigeria. But we talk of mechanizing services. So we must tackle security. We must tackle food. We can export cassava to China to other countries. So we can make a lot of money out of agriculture. What are we talking about? Nobody will come on the bridge of
okay, thank you.
Government is difficult of the state. What is it in our state?
Thank you, Prince
what are they doing with their money? Also state, we know we have a pattern that can grow what you can eat. But your mobile.
It's all right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sister Sandra.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you very much.
All right.
I can barely hear you.
Yes. Okay. So
can you move a bit so I can? Hello? Hello? Now I can't hear you at all. Hello? Oh no. Well, that's quite unfortunate. Please do well to call back. You're
Good morning, Sandra.
Permitted to. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Gift from Onikpan.
Gift from Onikpan.
Yes.
Please go on.
And if you look at the issues or present currently, according to Bala Muhammad, stating that, can you hear me? According to Bala Muhammad, stating that the reforms are not working. It is like one of my brother will say, it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf that the reforms are not working.
when you are buying, like this week now, I drive to the office. This week now, I bought fuel like 3 times. And thank you fuel can't last you more than how many days? Just 9 liters for 10 fuel. So it is audible to the deaf and visible to the blind. That is the basic truth. No story about that one. And about the opposition saying things like there is the ruling party is the one affecting their party. Sandra, tell them that they are sleeping on the gunpowder. They are just fooling themselves. It is greed. It is their greed that is affecting them. Because I see no reason why an Atiku Abubakar would come out and say he wants to be president when a Fulani Buhari, a Northerner, just finished presidency. You came out and you said you want to be president, and you're running on the platform of one of the biggest parties in the country. It is pure, it is nothing else but greed. When I look at everything happening in the country at the moment, for me, the person that I blame the most is Atiku. Because it is greed that brought us into this point that we are. There are some rural areas in this country that they don't know about party logos. The reason they know is PDP and APC. So now imagine if someone who is viable and competent had run under the body of PDP. It could have been a better position to win the election. I don't want to mention Peter Obi, but we all know if Peter Obi had run under PDP, he could have even had a better opportunity to win the election. So they should all shut up. They are greed. Both us into the solution that we are now. Right. Then, please, let me quickly tell you about CNG. You know, I quoted that I was talking about. They are telling us to go and convert our vehicle to CNG. Did you see what happened in Benin yesterday? So, me, if I enter a vehicle and it's going to Port Harcourt, and in the middle of the road I discovered it's CNG-enabled vehicle, I will say I want to come down. I'll come in the middle of the bush. Because it is not safe. It's like telling me to put a gas cylinder in my room and start cooking.
Thank you.
That's just it. Right.
And you as well. Thank you very much. We saw the video. The conversation has been rife with, what happened in Benin. And interesting thing, it happened at the station. So it's very unfortunate. And if you see the back of that car, I'm just thinking of what if there were actual, people seated there, what would have happened? There's a lot of concern, but then I think what we need to look at now is, how to manage the situation, because this is not something that started in Nigeria. CNG, the use of CNG did not start in Nigeria. It's something that has been in use, in other parts of the world, and it's safe to say it's been working. So I think the installation, the conversion, and all of that's what needs to be looked into, and why we seem to be having these issues here. Well, let's take some messages now. Time check is 20 minutes past 9, and we have here on WhatsApp. Good morning, Sandra. The economic policies of this government is indeed very biting and detrimental to the general well-being of the citizens in all variations. World Bank may not know the implications of these suicidal policies because their staff and representatives have never been to the interior of Nigeria. America and other countries are doing everything possible to ensure the safety and food security of their people, which is lacking in Nigeria. Let the government reconsider its stand on these tormenting policies and make life meaningful to people. Fighting corruption and abuse of office should be the government's most priority. And that's Noah from Igondo sharing that one. We also have here Raf from Satellite Town. For those supporting the so-called policies, should know that this same transforming of economy that the World Bank is telling us that we'll see the result in the next 10 to 15 years was also done by the past administration, and yet nothing to show for it. For me, from the type of hardship in the land as at today, I don't see this country bouncing back. And that's Ralph from Satellite Town sharing his own. James from Agbado Junction also is saying, I don't see Nigeria making any headway come 2027 if we fail to make any significant move to reform our electoral acts. If INEC and the judiciary, whose emergence has always been orchestrated by Mr. President, will still be the ones to decide who wins and not the people, then expect nothing less. The man on top of it is a political gladiator and cannot be beaten for the game he knows how to play well. Who can bail us from this captivity? James from Agbado Junction sharing his own thoughts there. I also have here, I greet the whole house. Please, okay, there's a lot of prayers All right, Triple A from Ojo. I join you, in prayer as well for this country because we definitely need it. The World Bank and other financial institutions of the West should be held responsible for economic problem in this country. They should leave us alone to reform ourselves instead of putting us in their reforms. We does not benefit us. And that's Joseph from Lagos sharing that one. I also have Steve Ofere from Ijaniki. They have got enough advice and seen the obvious failure of their directionless movement, and they won't listen. The situation in the country is becoming too frightening, with hopelessness loading beyond what words can describe. It's very obvious that there's so much derailment and the government has lost focus totally, but the bootlickers will never tell them so. They did the same to Buhari and it ended terribly. So the issues of minimum wage, high cost of living, inconsistencies in policies and government doing the opposite of what they preach are simply indices of bad governance. Who can we really hope on to get it right? Steve Ofere from Ejaniki sharing that one. I also have here Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Sandra, this government has never stopped to amaze me. Wale Edun is saying that any effort you did not sustain is a wasted effort, even when the effort is progressing in error, as we witnessed in the trial and error policies since they assumed office. On the accusation on APC, other parties should look elsewhere for their ineptitude and not blame APC. What is politics all about? Politics comes with twists, turns, and intrigues. It's the survival of the fittest. NNPP should check their traitorous members, put their house in order, and not hit the polity with their gibberish. Biko, and that's Steve Ikelu sharing that one from Maryland. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
You're welcome.
This is Odaba, the ghetto man, calling you from Imude, Alaba International side.
All right.
I want to make a confession about the economic reform. I want to make an open confession to beg Nigerians to forgive me and people in diaspora too. Because now I realize the truth that Muhammad Buhari, the former president, is really a father to us. I did for my own corner in my ghetto. They abused the man. They abused Muhammad Buhari. Say, give us food to shop. Please, Nigerians, forgive me for talking about our father in a wrong way, accusing him of hardship, not knowing that waiting that Baba see lying down, we as we climb up, we know see him. I beg Nigerians, forgive me. I don't do wrong for abusing our father. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Odaba. I appreciate your honesty and humility. I think I'll just leave it at that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Yes, yes, it's me.
Sandra.
Mainland FM.
Mainland FM.
Correct.
Sorry, concerning PDP, that is saying that
Engineer Lee, you have called this morning.
PDP to put your house in order. Put your house.
Hello? Look at that. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir.
This is Okangolina.
You're welcome.
I'm calling you from Amuwodofi.
Okay.
I came here to look for APC filling station. I didn't see. Anyway, Sandra.
Yes.
Do you know about the PDP accusing APC about their problem? And somebody was telling us that the Buhari, who is a full animal, ruled for how many years? 8 years. So why is Atiku talking about coming back or coming to rule again? Sandra,
I can hear you.
The one they brought now, who is a Southerner, are we better off now than we were in the Buhari time? So people should leave that matter. You said you wanted Southern president brought it for you. Now everybody is crying. So why are we talking about ethnic politics now?
Are we not to face the person who is capable should stay there? Now you are talking, oh, this one is full and this one. Now they have brought your own this thing. Now everybody is crying. People are dying. I don't want to say anything about that thing again at all. So what you wanted is what you have gotten now. Continue to enjoy, how do you call it, really hope. Bye-bye.
It's all right. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Auntie Sandra, how are you?
Yes, I'm well, thank you.
Good morning. Peter Monse from Shomolu.
You're welcome.
Now, Sandra, how can a Nigerian defend the policy that every Nigerian and the international community have told you that it has plunged more than 120 million Nigerians into poverty, and you are telling me that it cannot be reversed? The former president of this country, including Shagari, is killing Nigerians, reverse it, and reverse. And somebody telling me that because you have put your hand in the plow, you cannot look back. What of it when you have put the hand? It's not good for the people. It's killing the honest question. Why should Bala Muhammad make that kind of statement on mainland FM? I mean, we read it on mainland FM that very soon people will start to lynch them. Is that not inciting? Is it not inciting the people? If people want a call and say, look, very soon, now hungry Nigerians will begin to lynch people. Somebody won't want me that I should control my emotion, that I should not incite the people. And then why is he saying that? We know time has not come yet.
Right.
Our people say when the time where the palm fruit of the devil is ripe, the devil will harvest it.
Thank you.
The point is that we've talked, we've made suggestions. We said, how do you tell me that we want to sustain? Okay, are you putting foundation
Thank
for
you,
any
Mr. Peter.
So how will it work when there is nothing on ground to show that it will work? Let them continue. God will catch them one day. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
And you as well. Thank you very much. Today the conversation was a little bit overwhelming, but at the end of it all, we are all, gearing up, desiring of a better and a greater Nigeria, and so help us, we will get there. Thank you very much to everyone who was a part of the conversation this morning. I apologize if we're not able to take your message, but of course that's that's Friday for you, but not to worry, the conversation continues. We have so many other programs lined up for your listening pleasure in order for you to air your thoughts and your views as regards the state of the nation. My name is Omobola Sandra. Thank you for staying with us. Coming up next is Agville Half Hour, and after that is Health Plus.